This podcast is hosted and sponsored by eXp Realty and Mike Nelson, Integrity Home Group.
Right, and we are ready to go. So today we have a super cool guest, friend of mine. Gosh dang, man. Mike, how long have we known each other, dude?
You've known me forever. That's right.
Mike Bruce, he's up out of the Denver area, knows the Northern Colorado well too, because that's how we met. We used to live there and things. Mike is an awesome Keller Williams agent that is in the Denver area, focuses majority of his business there, I suspect, but does cover some other areas. He's with the Bruce Homes, Colorado. So, Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Heck yeah, Mike. I'm glad that we're doing this. It's just always great to talk to you. I tend to take away more than you take away from me, though. So.
Super exciting to have this because, Mike used to be the tech ambassador. He has had several leadership positions, very knowledgeable about real estate. He did it the right way, which is the old school way. Got mentors, studied the Red Book, studied everything that was the Bibles of real estate. And there's no surprise to me that you are as successful as you are.
Oh, thanks, man. I look back and have nothing but thank you and gratitude for you and your family, man. You guys have done so much for us and so much for me, and just this career has been such a blessing. Every day I keep pinching myself to make sure that this is real. I remember sitting down and chatting with you when I was first getting licensed, talking to you about, is this the best time to be doing it? It was 2013 back then. I had just got laid off from a job of Excel spreadsheets, whatever, and I was crushed. Didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and just, you mentioned real estate, and this has been such a great career. I'm blessed.
Man, I'm super proud of you too. That's all you, man. You reached out, you had the grit and the tenacity to do everything you need to do. One thing I've always respected about you, man, is you're coachable, and not from me, but just from the business as a whole. And you're just like, why reinvent the wheel if it already works and somebody's doing it? I don't have to be too smart. All I got to do is just follow what successful people do.
That's right. I don't think my coach would agree with you, but it's okay.
That's awesome. So maybe talk to me just for a minute. We'll kind of cover a few topics on here, but let's throw kind of mindset in there. So you said something right there about, you're blessed to have this job and you're blessed with this opportunity, yet we know there's tough days and we know there's hard days. So how do you put those two things together when you just want to wake up and cry and don't really want to do the job that day and whatever, right? What keeps you going? What motivates you?
I think the cool thing about our job is you don't have to go out every single day and crush it. You don't have to be working 24/7. Our industry says you need to work 24/7. Those that don't take a day off, those that don't have some sort of solitude on their own is destined to burn out.
Yeah.
So how do I crush it? I don't do it every day. I do the best I can every day. But honestly, it's about just doing what you love and calling it work. And I being able to go out and mingle with people and network, and knowing that I don't have to do the things that I don't want to do in this industry. Mm-hmm. When I first got into Keller Williams, it was a really big time for them to go, got a cold call, get on the phones, expired FSBOs. To this day, I've called 10 expireds and 10 FSBOs ever. It's just, that's not my niche. That's not my cup of tea. The people that I would like to work with are the people that already know, like, and trust me. And so I love just being able to get on the phone and call them and say, hey, how's it going? Miss you, I love you, have a great day. It has nothing to do with real estate. They already know what I'm doing. I'm here to care, and I'm here to be a consultative approach of who's the real. I'm not a salesman. When I worked at Verizon, that was sales. This is just, here's your options. Which one do you want? Because I'll take you down whatever option you want to go down, whether turn your house into a rental or refi or whatever it may be. If it doesn't cost me any money, or if I don't make any money, I don't care, because I want to win the client. I want that person to be calling me every time they think about real estate from here on out.
Absolutely.
So
how are you doing that? Like, do you have a system? Is it database? Is it a list that you share with people? That's powerful.
Yeah. Everything is on Google Drive. Everything is on, shared between my team. So yeah, we do have a vendor list. So if anybody, a past client needs a contractor, whoever, we've got lists of people. My entire database is on, we're using the KW command and all of that. But in the end of the day, that doesn't really help us get the next sale. Where I'm really getting my business is the people that I already know that I'm calling or texting or inviting to parties. That's what I'm doing for 2022, is just throw one cool event every month and call it good. And then we've got a really good in-depth drip campaign for the people who have already purchased a house through us. Those that sell and move off, it's a little bit harder to keep in touch with those. However, if they bought a house in the Colorado area, we're doing it's probably like a 56 touch every year, of whether it be little mailers, little emails, or pop buys. We're always giving away something to our people, just because in this industry, there's nothing but, like I said, gratitude to be given back to people. If someone chooses me to work for them as their realtor, I should be in touch with them for the next 10 years or 20 years, however long they own that home, because it's the reason they're in the house, the reason I'm still in business, that we're all doing this. So yeah.
Absolutely. Would you say your database is sort of like your foundation? Like everything comes from that database? So your drip
100%
have to have information in a database to drip them to. Your client events have to have a source to come back to invite them to. So talk to me a little bit about that. The power of that.
We have over 3,000 people in our database right now. We're actively marketing to probably half of them. There's a few that we just don't want to, but we don't need to. The core group of my people. Let me rephrase. I like to think of my database as like a bullseye. I've got my C group, my B group, my A group. The C group maybe knows who I am. They might know I'm a realtor, but they know other realtors. The B group, I'm one of 5 or 6 realtors that they work with, or they know that they might recommend me. And my A group, it's like my mom. It's like, you hear real estate in the room, you got to talk to Mike. And so I just try my hardest to spoil those people that are referring me, because that's my blood. I mean, that's the business, is just making sure that the database is getting fed that way. So whatever contact information I have, whether it be phone, email, direct mail, the address, I'm doing whatever I can to at least let them know I'm there and I care about them.
Awesome. I love that. And I know that was a big thing there during COVID. That was a great opportunity for us to care about our clients.
Totally.
A way that we've never had. Well, I shouldn't say we never had. We just never were intentional about it. And it gave us the opportunity to be intentional about checking on their health and well-being.
Totally. And then just figuring out their family. And one of the biggest things I enjoy about my database is, if you and I start talking, you mentioned your wife's name's Tracy, I'll write down Tracy. You mention your dog's names, your kids' names, whatever it may be. I'm just documenting. And then I upload all that to our database, so that the next time we talk, it's going to be like, oh yeah, I heard your kid broke his leg. How's it going? All of a sudden, I'm the guy that cares. I'm the guy who's paying attention. And even if I don't remember, because I've got a terrible memory, but the fact that I wrote it down and I remembered to look at it the next time we had that conversation, it really shows to your database that you're in it for more than just the times that you're needed.
Yeah, you're personalizing it, right?
Yeah.
And you're making that experience like, I care about you. And you could even find something on Facebook that you've got them as a friend and they just bought a new puppy, and have that in your database to have a conversation about, like, oh, and by the way, how's the new puppy doing? It just shows you're going.
So I actually hired a virtual assistant to comb through my Facebook individual pages and just start documenting what life events happened, what's their kid's name, what's their dog's, all that information, just so that I don't have to be the one going through every single Facebook page. It's all typed up nice and neat in my database right there.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Mike. That's brilliant. I love that idea. And I assume it's you actively engaging with your clients with that information, of course, for the genuineness of it.
However, I'm not just being a creeper.
Let's get tactical for a minute. So I'm a brand new agent, and where would you say that, like, the starting point would be? And this is kind of a leading on question based on the content we're talking about, but where's that first step?
Social media.
Yep.
Letting your people know what you're up to. There's no other way that you can reach out to your entire database as fast as Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. And then just being purposeful with those conversations.
Yep.
If you were just starting out, this is the perfect time to get your database in order, because you can call somebody going, Mike, I'm just updating my records and I want to make sure I can send you a birthday card. Can I send you a birthday card? Who in the world is going to say no to that? Cool.
Absolutely.
What's your birthday? What's your address? And while I'm updating my records, what's your email and phone number?
Yeah.
Or I've already got you on the phone, or maybe I called you through Facebook or whatever it may be. Just, it is a perfect time to be getting in this industry. There's no way I could have done this 20 years ago before Google Maps or the internet. This phone here saves my tail 99% of the time. But it's just such a great time, because especially like now that we're coming out of COVID, all of these things that are going on, real estate is the hottest item that people want to talk about. Never once do I have to fight to start a conversation about real estate. Every conversation I ask somebody, what do you do? Great. Turns around, what do I do? Real estate. Cool. We're going to talk about real estate for the next 30 minutes because that's all everyone wants to talk about.
Absolutely. It's a huge financial opportunity, and I think people see that.
Yeah. Second thing is scripts. Make sure you know know what you're saying. Oh my.
This is amazing, because I literally just shot a video today to put on my YouTube channel. It was just me talking into a camera, and it was about how to get new agents started, and we hit every one of those check marks. It was social media, it was database, and it was know what the heck you're going to say when you call your clients, right? And a lot of that was just the opening script of, hey, I'm new to real estate. I've started a new business. I'm super excited. And I'm trying to get some information, like you said, like I want to get your birthday so I can send you an email birthday card and a handwritten birthday card. And now you're building your database. We're on the same wavelength, my brother.
I hate it, but I love it. Our job is simple. It's not easy.
It is.
And it's just like, that is so true. It's not very complicated. Just go meet people. And your job is just to meet more people every day. I wake up every day and say, I'm home. I'm unemployed. I got to go find business.
What would you say if you were a new agent came to you and said, what's kind of the target? What should a target number be in my database when I first start? Like just that front end, like loaded database. Obviously, we know we got to build it each and every day, but what would you say as a goal that you would have maybe for your team or whatever?
We have a rule. In order to join our team, you need 100 names.
Perfect.
I think that is a minimum. I think that is shorter than what you should ever be. I mean, I went to high school with 150 people. I should at least have 200. Yep. And then every job, every class, I wish I could go back to college again just to meet new people. And my wife shared with me this gummy bear thing. Sit in the front row, offer gummy bear to the smartest looking person in the room. Because that there is your business, your lab partner, whatever it may be. I'm like, I should have been collecting data on every single person I went to school with, because I would be a multimillionaire by now. I spent too much of it going, yeah, you're fun, you're cute, I'm never going to call you again. It should have been like, I'm going to input you to my database. I'm going to strategically call you every quarter.
Oh, that is awesome and so true. Yeah, like from our model, which is very similar to yours, is same thing. It's like you got to have, I mean, we push the 200 models, but it's the same concept. It's like you haven't earned the right to do anything in our business until you produce 200. That's your first thing. Like, I don't care about anything else. You're putting 200 into a database, and that may even be before you walk in the door, because you certainly don't have to be a licensed real estate agent to put people's names into a spreadsheet, right? You can't have those conversations, but you can certainly go, cool. And here's the other thing. When people are challenged, because I hear it all the time, it's like, I don't know that many people. I'm like, cool, give me your phone, push the contacts button. Holy crap, you have 2,800 people in your phone, right? I mean, it's blowing up on me sometimes where I'm like, what the crap? You only have 5 people in your contacts. You might have a problem here.
That's right. Or the people that join like the Denver office, but they're from Florida. And they're like, well, I just don't have a database in Denver.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. You should call every person that you know in Florida, say, I'm a licensed realtor. Call me for your real estate needs.
Yep.
and then you send that referral out to somebody, or even more, you get licensed in Florida. I mean, do what you got to do to get it.
Yeah.
And the only people that are going to trust you are the people that already know, like, and trust you. Yes, you can go do an open house, but gone are the days of when I started. It was go sit in an open house and get that buyer under contract, and you're going to be fine. And that's my very first listing. Almost every deal is my first year were buyers, and it was just friends of friends and just people that I randomly met in open houses. That first year, maybe 2 years, you really gotta hustle. You gotta figure it out. And the buyers right now is the last thing that you want, because the only way to really guarantee a commission check in this industry right now is having a listing.
Yeah. Those who have the listing, right, are the winners in this game.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the secret sauce to our entire industry is just, how do I be top of mind to everyone?
That's it. And I think you hit a key is the social media gives you that outside view in. And one of the things I kind of talked about on the video was like, put your real estate stuff on there, right? Put that you're doing open houses, put that you're attending a class, put those things in, because the one conversation a month or the one a quarter is amplified by people being on your Facebook and seeing, not only hearing it once a month or once a quarter, but now seeing it daily. And they think that you're super busy because of what you're posting on there. And the reality is you might not have sold a home in 2 months, but yet you're not deceiving them. You're just putting a lot of real estate activity on there, and they're like, wow, dude, you're crushing it.
I can't tell you how many times my database has come up to me saying that you are crushing it right now. I'm like, how do you know that? I see it on social media. I'm like, you realize I'm the one posting that, right? I'm showing a house for a client. I took a photo of the house, but I'm not trying to mislead them, but that's my job, is just going in houses, taking photos, recording videos, and
it's a powerful thing that is, like you said, it's not misleading at all. You just take photos of houses. You take photos of you in a conference. You take photos of your team lead generating, whatever, right?
That's right.
Like, dude, I don't remember each individual thing. They remember the total. That's right. Right.
And it's a lot like advertising, like Facebook advertising. Even if you're on that side column, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. Everything's backwards, but you're not in it for somebody just to click on that link. You want them to see your name over and over and over again. And same thing goes with that news feed. If I can show you that I'm engaged in your life and you're in mine, I'm going to be in your news feed a heck of a lot more than somebody else. So how do I engage? And
that's exactly it.
Going through, posting the birthdays, liking and commenting, and
that's even the old school way of, like, we used to do gosh, I don't even remember whose company that was we did it with, but it might have been Kokoska. But we would do the trifold and say we sold another home and mail it off to our database. And really, it was black and white. It was not color, because I was cheap. I didn't want to spend that kind of money, because I knew most people were just going to be like, cool, dude, in the trash. However, strategically speaking, we put our name and our brand, because it was for branding. It wasn't necessarily for prospecting. It was more for, we just wanted to see Mike did it again. And after they opened 1 or 2 of those, I'm sure they're like, cool, another one from Mike, throw it away. But that was the message, right?
That's right.
Mike Realtor, Mike Realtor, Mike Realtor.
That's exactly it.
I didn't care if they ever opened the trifold. I just wanted the on there to go, Mike Nelson Real Estate.
And so we took over we had a laser designer cut out a sold sign and by the Bruce Holmes team. Cool. And so every closing, we get a photo of our client in front of the property.
Nice.
And so we're trying to post those every single time, and then send that out as a postcard to our client at the 1 year mark. And it's just whenever it comes to just make sure that they remember who the heck we are.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're just getting started in the database world, like in my world, I would kind of go, all right, you do the opener if you're new to real estate, whatever, kind of just tell them you're new and you're just doing the whole getting information and wanting to send them and provide them value. Like, we want to invite you to client events. We want to be able to send you birthday cards. So we need updated information. And then what's that second call look like, or the third call, or the fourth call kind of look like? And how often are you doing those calls?
I don't call them nearly as much as I should. If my database hears from me once or twice a year, they're lucky. I just don't make as many calls as I need to. The second or third call, I got into a lot of issues with my people going, why are you calling me about real estate again? So I had to come back and figure out something else. The thing that really got me the most is hosting an event as cheap as possible and with a cause. Bring in a nonprofit. And then you are there trying your hardest to pitch the nonprofit. Why should people give to the nonprofit? Because then I'm not pitching houses. I'm not pitching real estate. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I'm here to talk about this person. And this guy is the one that you need to be talking to and giving your money to. And we can talk about real estate another time. And so that's literally what I've been trying to do for this year. Like I said, is do one cool event every month and try to bring in a nonprofit to at least have somebody there to go, this is the person we need to have the spotlight on, not me.
I think that's smart. And, you know, even in those events, whether it's nonprofit perhaps or not nonprofit, you can bring in those vendors that you meet, and those companies like to be able to support you in a small way, right? It could just be buying everybody's sodas for the event, or it could be buying their popcorn or whatever.
Exactly, right? $20 can go a long way if you're just going to go to King Soopers and buy those little wraps or whatever. And it's not much. You don't need a whole lot. We hosted a board game day 2 weeks ago, and I think I spent $40 in pizza. I mean, and that was it. It's just, and a whole lot of people showed up. We had a great time, and the biggest thing was all the people that didn't come. I'm getting messages from them going, no need to call me a day later to know that I miss it. I know I miss it. Do it again. I'll be there. So
yeah, that's what you want, right? And I think what Mike's done a really great job of is creating raving fans, and he's done that through quite a few different capacities. But one is the central part of that is he's always coming from value and contribution, and he's continuing to reach out and stay engaged. And that could be through social media, that could be through phone calls, that could be through events. But
it's through a workout group or whatever I find interesting at the moment. One of the things that we did is we went through our database and we tagged everyone for their interests. Do they like snowboarding? If then, or skiing, we'll start a ski group on Facebook. This is our ski, you know, if you want to go up on sometime, message this group. Or beer drinkers versus whiskey drinkers, or dogs versus cats. We have all these people tagged in our database, so if we ever wanted to go do a dog park event, it would just be send all the people with dogs an invite, whatever it may be.
And that could be huge, because sometimes I think we get overwhelmed with, like, I have a database of 3,000. I don't know that I want to run an event that 1,000 of the 3,000 would show up, because that gets super expensive. However, could I run more targeted events, which would be a dog park, bring your dogs, and you now know 30 people in your database, whatever, have dogs, and now you have, that's smart. That's real smart.
Yeah. And just trying to be as hyper local, but on the personal level. If I see on social media that they like to go to breweries, if I'm going to a brewery, I'm just going to invite my brewery people. And most of the time it's like, I'm going to be there tomorrow at 3:30 to 5:30, whatever it is. If you want to show up, I'll buy you a beer. Most of the time it's just me by myself. But I get credit for inviting all those people to go do
That's the beauty, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's the beauty. I could care less if I'm there by myself. I mean, I might be a little annoyed, but overall, I know the message was sent, and they're like, that's not on you. That's on me for not participating. So thank you. You get more for the credit of the invite than you actually do hosting the event, I think, sometimes.
Absolutely. And it's, I'm big on like love languages, and short of like gifts or physical touch, I'll hug somebody, but that's about it. People just want to know that you care. They're recognized. And so just the invite, I was thinking about you. I want you to come hang out with me doing whatever. Oh, you're busy? Next time. Yeah. Whatever it may be. But at least you're inviting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the conclusion of where we're at today, is everything's just got to be genuine, and it's not sales anymore. Nobody wants to be sold. I don't care if it's recruiting. I don't care if it's buyers and sellers. I don't care what it is. Nobody wants the sales pitch anymore. People want the genuineness of, do you really care about me and my family? And I want to see it, right? I don't want to hear it. I actually want to see it in action.
Totally. You mentioned Diana Kokoska, and it made me think of her listing presentation and how we used to memorize all of that. And I don't use any of it anymore, because I sit down going, do you have to sell? or do
Right.
you want to sell? Because the first thing we're going to go down is, can you turn this into a rental? Because if you can hold on to this property for 5 years or 10 years, the income that you're going to make is better than any other thing that you can ever invest in. So if you can leverage yourself to buy the next home, yes, I understand it's not going to make me money, but it's going to make you money, and that's what really matters.
That's it. A wealth building, and now you're playing the long game too there.
Yeah, I may talk myself out of a listing in the short run, but I got a client for life by walking them through maybe a conversation that they've never been given before of what's it like to be a real estate investor. Give them a quick 101 of what their house could do as a rental and what would that do for them monthly, having a little bit of extra cash flow.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I've since changed the paradigm a little bit too, to go like, I want to educate you on being an investor. And I think, like you said, that's appropriate, is to go like rentals, keeping that asset long-term is going to pay off tenfold, what it's worth today in 10, 20 years. However, I'm going to show you how much I believe in that. I'm actually always in the market to buy too. So I'm going to say, hey, look, I back up what I'm saying. You should keep this as a rental. However, if you decide not to, I may want to be a buyer for you, right? And now I'm kind of showing and backing that up. So I kind of go in with, I'm not going to buy every property I go on a listing on, don't get me wrong. However, I know the worth of a home. We both know that. And if
I bought one of my clients' homes in Dacono in November. Same thing. He's like, I've trashed my house. I don't want to, or I can't afford to do the work myself. So I'm just going to sell it to an investor. I said, I'm right here.
Yeah. And I think selling the home sometimes is the last priority. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like, you should keep it in and use it as a rental. You should perhaps sell it to me if it makes sense for all of us, or let's list it, right, and sell it on the open market.
Right.
However, so cool stuff. All right, Mike. Well, I have taken up a lot of your time, so thanks so much, dude. I'm glad we get these opportunities to meet but have a conversation, because we don't do it enough.
Man, I am appreciative. I'm glad we got a chance to sit down and chat. It's always great talking with you. And I was talking to my folks just about the other day about how long I've known you and just our history, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. It's been one hell of a ride.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we always appreciate you. You come up in conversation frequently in our household as well. So especially as we see your social media come across, and we're like, there's Mike again.
there's that baby again.
Awesome. Well, we're going to post this out there for Mike. Mike is a giving guy just like we are, and the fact that if you have any questions about anything real estate, or perhaps even not real estate, like Michael is a genuine guy. He will answer your questions. We'll do the same thing. So reach out to me, reach out to Mike. This will be posted in a week or two once we get everything done. And, happy to, partner with you on these calls. And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, man. It's great seeing you.
You bet.
Have a great
day.
Mike. Take care.
All right, buddy. See ya. Bye.
See ya.